Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Gridiron Glory, where we cover the 32 teams of the NFL. We focus on their highlights, their stories, and we focus on all of the teams, and we're proud to give quality coverage of all of the teams we focus on. Today, we have a Week 2 recap featuring the Seattle Seahawks defeating the New England Patriots in Foxborough 23-20 in overtime. A very interesting game between two scrappy teams. I mean, you got the Seahawks with the veteran quarterback Geno Smith going 33 for 44 with 327 yards, one touchdown, no interceptions, sacked three times, and just a quality game from him. Also, five rushes for 8 yards. So he did what he could to keep his star receivers involved. DK Metcalf had a big game, 10 catches for 129 yards and a touchdown. And Jackson Smith-Njigba, the second-year receiver from Ohio State, a big game as well, 12 catches for 117 yards. So two of the lead receivers for the Seahawks coming up and making big plays. Not a lot from the run game for Seattle. They only had 19 rush attempts, led by Zach Charbonnet, 14 for 38 and a touchdown. So they focused more on the pass game, and it seemed to work out all right. It kept them in the game for most of the game, and then they do just enough to win in that overtime drive. You get a stop in overtime on the Patriots' first drive, and then you drive down and win it with a field goal from Jason Myers, the kicker, who was 3 for 3 for the game. A very solid game for Myers, the veteran kicker there. Looking at the Seattle defense, some quality work there to contend with the Patriots offense. Rayshon Jenkins with his 9 total tackles, 4 solo. And then you have Leonard Williams with 4 quarterback hits, 1.5 sacks, and a tackle for loss. So those are just some of the key playmakers for the Seahawks defense that did what they could to keep the Patriots at bay. So that's what we had out of Seattle in this game.
Yeah, a very impressive showing for rookie head coach Mike Macdonald, who is now 2-0 as the Seahawks head coach. And going out there and getting a very resilient victory like you got in this NFL football game, on the road in Foxborough, Massachusetts. You mentioned it, Jason Myers going out there and, being able to, he asked to do what was asked to be upon him, which was make the kicks in the clutch when you needed to. So very, very good job from Jason Myers from him there. Geno Smith really settling in as a veteran quarterback in this league, looking like a quarterback that can really get things done, that can really make big strides in today's NFL. So, the very impressive showing here. The play by DK Metcalf, that was probably the most impressive play of the entire game to me, was the DK Metcalf touchdown. Just because DK was able to break away so far and he was able to get ahead of his defenders. And then, I kind of just really like that whole mannerism that DK does when he's celebrating into the end zone. He kind of does that does that whole walk kind of thing that he does when he's just walking there. So DK Metcalf, a very flashy, athletic, explosive NFL wide receiver. So big things there. Very impressive win for rookie head coach Mike Macdonald. Seattle now 2-0, leading this NFC West.
Yeah, a very, very impressive showing there. The battle of the two rookie head coaches that both won their first game with Gerard Mayo for the Patriots. And the Patriots, they're not a team that anyone expected to be this competitive early on. And sure, they didn't end up winning, but this is back-to-back games that just shows that the Patriots are a resilient bunch, that they're going to come and they're going to give you a fight. If you expect to play the Patriots team and just walk over them, then they're going to come and they're going to give you a hard time. I mean, Joe Burrow knows it. Ask Joe Burrow about it. They gave him a hard time week 1, and they made things difficult for the Seahawks as well. The Seahawks, they ended up making the plays in the end, but a very quality showing by the Patriots. They ran the ball fairly decently. I mean, you got Antonio Gibson with 11 carries for 96 yards. You got Stevenson, 21 carries, 81 yards, and a touchdown. So some solid work there. Jacoby Brissett, he didn't make a lot of big plays down the field, but he did go 15 for 27 for 149 yards, I should say, and a touchdown. And important to note that touchdown went to rookie receiver Jalen Polk out of Washington, his first career touchdown on 2 catches for 12 yards there. So not a high volume day, but he did get his first NFL touchdown, and that's always a memorable moment there. So some good work by Jalen Polk there. Looking at the Patriots defense a bit, their leading tackler was Kyle Duggar with 9 total tackles, 8 solo. He also had 3 tackles for loss and a quarterback hit to go along with the sack. So some solid performances there, but in the end, I mean, the Patriots, they end up getting to overtime, and then on their first overtime possession, and I should say on their only possession of the overtime, they made the decision after gaining 9 yards on the first 3 plays. They had a 4th and 1 from their own 39-yard line, and they elected to punt the ball. What's your take on that decision by rookie head coach Mayo?
I mean, you get it. You wanted to put your trust into the defense in that situation, but I feel like that's a learning moment as a rookie head coach. Learning that sometimes you have to take those risks. Because it is the NFL, so it's the National Football League. So I feel like it's a big learning moment for him there, So I feel like we saw a few of those in week 2, and we'll get into those when we talk about them specifically. We'll just talk about the learning moments. Those other clips, but yeah.
For sure. I thought it was a very interesting decision personally. I think that's a position where you got to trust your offensive line. You're running the ball well. You got to keep running the ball. You can get 1 yard there, and I feel like they should have given it a go. But in the end, Gerard Mayo, he makes the decisions there, and he trusted his defense. And in the end, it was Geno Smith and the offense that took the momentum there. So big decision there. A lot of promise for New England still. It looks like they're a team that they fight. I'm continue to come away very impressed when I watch the Patriots. They're not a team that I would have expected to be this competitive, but here they are. They compete every snap, and they're a team that is going to continue to fight throughout the year, and I expect we'll continue to see that next week in as they face the Jets on the road. That's going to be a big divisional rivalry game, and I think we'll continue to see the New England Patriots give their best, and we'll see what we get in a game between 2 quality defensive-minded teams, and that should be a fun one. And then looking at the Seahawks, they face the Miami Dolphins next week in Seattle, and that's going to be an interesting showing for Miami. We don't know what for sure will happen with their quarterback. It's likely that Skylar Thompson will be starting that game for Miami. So question marks there as Seattle will host the Dolphins next week.
Yeah. So, a very interesting showing from these 2 rookie head coaches. Patriots went from being the worst team in the AFC last year, and now they're looking like they might not be the case. They might be a contended, resilient team going forward. So some big tests going forward next week. Seahawks win this one 23-20, week 2. They win it 23-20 on the road against the Patriots. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow. This is the Gridiron Glory, where we cover all 32 teams.